I am fresh out of a very interesting and very funny conversation with this friend of mine, a very old friend who had called me for help. He was going on venting about how he was failing with getting to the gym, eating healthy, and also there was this huge change of leadership behaviors and things that he was trying at work, but invariably he was failing. And the more I dug in, the more he would say things like, oh, I couldn't make it to the gym because I slept late, or I was binge watching this Netflix, or I couldn't eat the healthy food because I don't take lunch, and then I was traveling, and this happened and that happened. And when it came to those leadership behaviors that he was trying to practice, he was saying that somebody triggered me, they said something in the meeting, and then I had to respond, I had to go back to my old ways, or my boss suddenly gave me so much work that I was under pressure, and my behaviors were like this. So it was a very funny exchange, and the moral of the story was he was feeling extremely stuck and dejected, and he was thinking that, am I even capable of change? Because he'd been trying to do this for about 3 4 months, and all these changes are very essential for his life at this point in time. And that sort of reminded me of so many of us who get stuck. My next question to him was that, do you have a clearly written down map of how you are going to go about these changes? He gave me a very strange look, as if I had literally asked him for one of his kidneys. And he shouts at me and says, what map are you talking about? I am talking about being stuck here despite my best efforts, and you're talking about a map. I said, look, this is what you have to understand. You are not updated. You're not broken. You are not stuck. You are just not updated. I got another very bad look from this guy, and he says, am I a computer that I need to be updated? My response was something like that. So let's understand what happened and why this conversation was so funny. Many of us operate without understanding that our brain needs to be updated. If we want to do something new, the brain needs a very clear map. Otherwise, what happens is, if you don't know what to do, whenever you're doing things, you go back to your old habits. See, our habits are all a coping mechanism. They have been copied, they have been adopted, they have been adapted to things that have happened in our life. Even our bad behaviors have a great utility in our life. They are allowing us to survive. So, if you want to change, you have to know exactly how that loop operates. Something happens, there is a trigger that our brain recognizes. It says, do this, we do that, we get a result. Our brain says, now do this, now do this, now do this. So it's a procedure which is recorded in the brain, and this happens for most things, from our eating to sleeping to driving to the way we deal with our coworkers or our relationships, or the way we have fun in our life. Now, if you have to change, we have to first understand this, that any sense of self regulation is only going to come when you have a very clear understanding and memory of things. A lot of people say, I don't have the willpower to change. I don't have the wherewithal and the energy and the stamina to put into it. That is not the first point of concern. The first point of concern is developing a clear map, like I said to my friend. So, if you want to hit the gym, then you have to understand what is the time at which I will be able to go to the gym, which is the most appropriate for me. How do I configure my life in such a way that there is nothing that interferes with that time? Like, if you're going to go to the gym or do running or whatever in the morning, then how do you have to plan your day in such a way so that you get home, or you get to your last meal, eat properly, so that you sleep on time, so that you wake up on time, so that you get to the gym? That entire sequence has to be planned, and in detail you'll have to put down the various scenarios. What are these scenarios? You need to know your vulnerability. What are the things that are part of your life? Who will take your time? What will take your time? Where will your time go? And then how do you plan your time in such a way that you get to, including if you're going to travel, and if you travel a lot, how are you going to exercise? What kind of exercises would you need to do? All of this has to be clearly written down for you. Similar way with the food. If you're going to leave your new healthy habits at the mercy of availability of food, then God help you, because when you travel or you get to work and if something is not available, then you'll really actually eat what is available. Or think about this. Somebody comes and tempts you. They say, oh, it's a Friday evening, let's go out party. Or somebody encourages you to shift your binge day because they want to binge on that particular day. All of your plans are going to go for a toss. Same way with work behaviors. You're learning a new subject, whether it's a quality tool or it's a leadership behavior that you're learning, or it's a new way of working with your team or negotiation. You will have to write down scenarios very clearly after you go through your training or the book or the video that you have experienced, that how and what are you going to do. So remember what I said about the loops. Something happens, there is a trigger that we go through, we respond, then something happens, then we have to follow through with a certain set of actions. So that entire procedure has to be written down, and various scenarios that we will face have to be written down. So I will leave this with you. Next time you're trying to create a change for yourself, the first step for you to do is write down a clear map. And this is the first step of updating your software, your brain, so that you can go through with that change. And understand, writing down itself is not important, is enough. You have to commit this to your memory. So you have to keep reading it over and over again for a period of 10 to 12 days, or maybe about a month. And if you're not good at memorizing things, you will take a little longer, like a month to month of reading that again and again to commit that to your memory, because this will now bring awareness. You will know when your bad trigger is coming and how you need to use the new way of responding to that trigger. So that's why memory is so important. So if you are someone whose memory and attention is poor, then it's not the willpower problem, it's not a resilience problem, it's not a focus problem, it's a memory problem. Please commit that plan to your memory and you will get things done. So get the map written down very in detail, commit it to your memory so that you're aware of when the triggers are happening. And then all you need to do is self-regulate, which means when the trigger happens, just apply your new plan patiently. Initially, there'll be a little frustration. You will slip here and there. Your moves will be imperfect because it's premeditated. You're trying to make a change in a new way. And that frustration tolerance is what will take you to your final destination, where results start coming and you'll slowly fine tune the behavior. All of our behaviors are coping mechanisms. So if you don't know how is the new way in which you are going to cope, you will go back to the previous way of coping, the previous loop in which you have been acting till now. So do not consider yourself to be broken or stuck. You just need updating.